Welcome back. It's Scott with two T's. It's Scotty two T's. You can cross them in the top or the middle. Uh, Hola. Uh, that means hello and goodbye, just in case you were wondering. Here for another episode of Captain's Corner with Scott. That's with two T's. Scotty, two T's. Um, it's been a little bit. There's a lot to cover here. Uh, a lot of stuff been on my mind lately. Um, Motivation, trying to get better at everything. A lot of thoughts into that. I've really been digging deep into this AI, ChatGPT, the new 4.0 version, and also just implementing that stuff into work and daily things that I've done. Try and show people the ways that we can brighten the future. Guy asked me at work, do you think it makes you lazy? Because I was showing him some of the stuff that you can do. And I said, let me just put it to you this way. When I was younger, I used to crawl. And then, I grew. I learned a little bit and I was able to walk. So I no longer crawled to places. I walked because I want to get there faster. Later on, I learned how to ride a bike. And I'd go to my friend's house. Someone said, "Hey man, you're getting lazy. You're not walking over to your friend's house or riding over there. You're riding your bike now." I said, "Well, I want more time to hang out with my friends and do other things. This is going to get me to point A to point B faster. Uh, you know, no, that's not making me lazy." Then, when I turned 16, I could drive. And I would drive the car, take the parents' car whenever I could. And I said, "Man, you're not riding your bike anywhere anymore. You're taking that car. That car is getting you there. Don't you think that makes you a little lazy?" No, it's getting me to point A to point B faster. So, in the fact of it not ChatGPT and this stuff, AI, um, there's a lot of AI involved in that's not ChatGPT. That's been around for a long time, falling behind the game. Time to get ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Uh, but using that to get from point A to point B is no different than using a calculator as well. Uh, you know, School, they once said you're not going to have a calculator with you everywhere. Then they invented computer, a mobile computer. Yeah, we call a phone a cell phone. That's literally a mobile computer that does more than we could ever do in school. So what's next? What's next is the question. Are you going to fall behind? Maybe your job or you never will incorporate into your life and you don't have to worry about it. That's cool. But there's millions of people that will need to, and that will most likely fall behind before they even try and catch up. And at that point, it's going to be a different ball game. But my goal is to help train and show people this new world and how to implement it into the daily task, the daily use at work, whatever you can to simplify things. There's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of things to do. Um, that's on one subject, you know. In other news, Thunder still out of the playoffs, so I'm recording this podcast right now while the NBA Finals are going on. I might tune in a little bit. I don't know. maybe not. Who really cares? It's sports entertainment, you know what I mean? So who really cares? Besides me, I definitely do. It's still painful. But we're going to move on. We're going to say goodbye to that part of our lives. You know what I mean? We'll just move on. I did get a haircut for my cousin's wedding, but I've been wearing this hat. But still, nice little haircut. Um, Other than that, I did make a trip to Oklahoma. That was a fun trip. I went to my niece's dance thing today or yesterday. Talk about triggers. There's triggers. That can set you off. And every year, for the last couple of years, or the last 2 years, I ain't going to no dance thing. Then it comes up, and I'm like, oh, I'll go. And after that, when I'm there, from the time I sit down till the time I leave, till a couple hours later, that trigger, boom, instant memories and regret, because it brings up the step kids, and I always reflect back of how many different things I could have done different and better. That's just me. So it's not as much about that loss of the relationship for me and the ex, but that relationship with the kids. That's probably the biggest thing. When I got divorced, I really didn't imagine not ever talking or seeing them again. And it's not really, this isn't for, hey, feel bad for me, blah, 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 this and that. I don't deserve any of that. I could have done a lot better. Should have done a lot better. There's so many different things that I regret. But I mean, isn't that what all parents are? It's a lot. But the difference was I was a step parent. And less than a parent that had, because they were supported so much by that's just another story, but we'll leave that out of there. But for me, I just remember all the times just hearing the things she would say, and I took in a lot of things, and I could have done a lot of things different, but I still was listening and trying to understand and grow. I remember one time saying, hey, Scott doesn't understand this. He's new to this. How is he supposed to know? You've got to teach him and understand. Like, he doesn't know. I mean, she was so smart. But it was true. I didn't really know what was going on. I mean, not a lot of people do. And I'm stepping in the middle. And I'm trying my best. But I did a lot of things that I wish I would have changed. And regret, I don't have any regrets in my entire life out of everything with drinking, all the mistakes, everything I've done throughout life. None, not at all, except for reflecting back on thinking of the things I could have done better for them. And if you're going through recovery and all this stuff too, it's hard, especially if you're trying to be a step parent at the time, because you're trying to learn your life over again while also trying to be a parent to kids that were not born yours and lived a different life. It's hard to put into words. Because I don't want to say anything negative towards anyone, because everything that I'll always appreciate them, everybody. So, but yeah, those things, and to not pick up a bottle later on and like think about that. Uh, so I've learned to deal with the drinking triggers, but it's also those depressing or those get you down moments. Uh, I was up till, I don't know, it took me forever. But then I tried to sleep, then I woke up, and the next thing you know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still thinking about this stuff. And then it triggers. It gets me. What am I doing reflecting on the past? The past of I was supposed to forgive myself for that stuff. I was supposed to be done, but the mind's a dangerous thing. The mind can travel into many different worlds and realms and all that stuff. Um, so sat there and what do I do? I mean, what am I gonna do? Just sit here and just think about this the whole time? Nah, let me hop on something I'm passionate about, and I'm trying right now. I'm trying to learn as much as possible on my crafts at work because it's something I enjoy, and regardless of hourly or not, the more I know there, the more I will succeed, and the more I succeed here, will help me in the future. Especially if it's something that I want to grow into, learn into, of being an advisor or consultant type thing in the fields I work in. I just feel like it fits me well, eventually. But in order to get there, I need to push myself to limits that I don't think that are possible. And that might be turning on the computer and watching some videos for an hour and a half. It's better than sitting there and just beating yourself up and talking about the past, Fuck that shit. That's, it's all in your head. It gets in your head, and it got in my head. I got emotionally mind fucked on this stuff. Sorry for cussing, but hey, man, it's life. I did. I let the world tell me that it's okay to feel these things. I mean, it is okay to feel these things, but also at the same time, you cannot dwell on them. You will bury yourself alive. You will bury yourself alive if you dwell on all this stuff, on your past, on all the mistakes, on this, on that, on blah 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 blah. Shit ain't cool. Don't do it. It's easier said than done. And sometimes the easiest thing to do is just do something that you're passionate about. A lot of people work out. Maybe I should work out. I was thinking about going on a juice cleanse, and just trying a juice cleanse. I'd call it 2 teas and 2 juices a day, if not more, give or take. I'm not sure what to call it, to be honest with you. I just made that all up in my head. But yeah, so I hop on and I watch a couple of videos, and those things went away. And I gained some knowledge, and then I was more motivated the next day too. Because like I said, the more I learn, the more I grow, the more in every situation, it's just going to help me towards the future. And that's at work, whether I, want to do a task or not want to do a task. If I'm assigned to something, I'm assigned to something. And I need to learn it to the best of my ability to gain as much knowledge as I can. A lot of people are like, it's not me. I'm going to work my 9 to 5 and I'm just going to go home and I'm not going to worry about things outside. And that's all I'm fine. And that's okay. For me, there's also been a lot of little side things that I've tried. Most of them haven't worked. Let me be honest with you. But I tell you what, I've gained a lot of knowledge. figured a lot of things out in all these things not working. It's cost me a lot of money. But so is all the charity things that I've done. All these things that I've done for those things, I've never once got anything out of it mainly because I messed up. And I learned from it. Hey, I'm not going to go back. Like, okay, here's a tip for people that are doing a charity thing. And if you're buying stuff, make sure you take your money out of GoFundMe. Even if you don't hit your goal in a certain amount of time, or they'll take it all and refund it. And at that point, there ain't no way that I'm asking anybody for more money or for anything, even though it went back in their account. No way in the world. But that is an advice for you. If you ever want to do one of those, don't mess around. I think my mama told me that. She sure did. And it got me. That was on a couple things, but it'll come and go. Money comes and go. I'm not a material guy. I say that, but I ask for raises. I ask for more money because here's the thing: the lifestyle I live, what I want to do. I want to help people. I want to do some different things. Always in the line of action that I can be. I got to make money to do it. And I know my worth. I know where a little while ago I didn't understand my worth. Sometimes if you don't just stop and evaluate your worth on just an impact of a job or something, then you're going to be complacent. You're going to stalemate. But not me. I wanted to be irreplaceable. My boss, old John. Go old John. Miss him. But when I first started at work, he said, all right, Scott, you know the key to making yourself get a job here? We already hired this other guy. We usually only keep around one or two, so your chances are real slim. But if you make yourself irreplaceable, we won't have a choice to make. We'll have to keep you. And that really stuck with me throughout the whole time I've worked here. Make yourself irreplaceable. So regardless of the circumstance of what they wanted, what needed to be done, ain't nobody going to do it better. Nobody's going to do it better. I remember years back, before I stopped drinking, went to the night shift. And there's a guy, Corey, there. And another guy in work was like, man, this guy's, he's killing it. He's doing this, blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, he's doing amazing. He trained under me. Come on now. I'm just a good trainer. Now I'm playing, but for real though. I did. But I told this guy, I said, look, if this guy can do what I'm doing better, and if he can do these things, give it to him and let him run with it. Look, you ain't ever going to catch me complaining about you giving somebody else that deserves something. Because guess what? Scott Wolfer's going to find his way. Wolfer's way. He's going to find a spot, a niche, something, somewhere. I went to the night shift. He took over the day shift shipping manager. Balled out. Killed it. Which is great. But that opened an opportunity for something else for me. To quit drinking. Happened, later on. And when that happened, that was a life changer. So when I went back to work from that, it was a question on what I was going to do or where I was going to be. Because I missed a month at a pretty crucial time. I remember people didn't want to talk or told me that they weren't allowed to talk to me because I was supposed to recover. But none of this stuff had to do with work or when I was sick. So It was like I just called in. Um, and I remember having to have these secret conversations with people because I wanted them to still succeed, but nobody, it was, I don't know. But from there, when I got back, the main boss, he said, you know, Scott, a lot of people have a downfall, a big downfall. This was a big one for you. And it was huge. Um, Huge. But I can't wait to see your comeback story and your rise. I'm excited for it. I remember that. And those things just don't, when people of importance and relevance make things, some quotes like that, who have been established into a position for a reason, they mean something. So, knowing me, I just created work for myself, all in all, big picture. I started digging where nobody wanted to dig. I started finding out things more. I've always been good at this. I was good at that before. Regardless, a problem solver. Gonna figure out how to make each process we do better. And I just continue that on. I basically haven't had the same role in the company for more than 6 to 8 months. It seems like. But that's all. And remember I was talking about the goals and you're always being right here. I still feel. I felt that this weekend. I felt like I was so far behind, so buried, because there's so much that you can learn when you want to be an expert at something. That there's just so much that you can learn that you can always be down there. You can never be at the top. Now, you can call yourself at the top, whatever, but you don't know everything. I don't know everything. Never will. Nobody will. There's always room to grow. There's always room to get better. And right now, too, the addiction part, for me, because I've done this in the past, working anything I work with or work or whatever. Right now, my addiction, because the addictions never go away. When you're an addict or addicted, or you have that addictive personality, that's just who you are. You got to replace one with another. And one of the biggest addictions I have right now, I want to learn everything I can on this system. Not this system, the AI system, the upgrade system, how to become better at this, and this. The endless amount of goals that I just set. And it felt a little overwhelming. But you know what else feels overwhelming? Hazmat shipping. Let me tell you what, those rules change all the time. Yeah. But it's all right. I got God on my side, and that's all I need. And that's the biggest thing. I've no longer in the pursuit of happiness. I was telling somebody the other day, I don't search for happiness. I don't search for an emotion. I'm search for peace. I find that the only way I can, and that's through the Bible and the Word of God. A little music here and there. I ain't perfect. Nobody is. You know all the stuff I've done. So I'm just a sinner, just like you. And I believe the Son came and died for us on the cross. So, just know I care for you. Also, if you have any questions about that, let me know. Like I said, I'm unapologetic about anything. I'm I'm not sorry for the way I am, the way I live, the way my thoughts are. They may be right, they may be wrong, but they're mine. Um, and I got a good heart for it, and I'm ready for it. The challenges are going to be tough. This right here is tough, but I do it because there's somebody out there that needs it, that sees this video, that says, "Hey Scott, tell me about this, tell me about that. How can we make it better?" And there's conversations I have with other people. They're like, "Hey Scott," and I learned something new. So it's a benefit of a lot of people. Eventually, other podcasts will come and people will be around and make it real popular, and there'll be different segments. But for today, you got me. And I'm just working on me. I can't worry or work on anything else but me. It's funny when you're sometimes at your lowest points, you feel the best. It's wild. It's wild. But I also put myself in this, like I said, talking at him. I kind of set myself up for that. But I'll get out there again and hang out with people. That's the thing, is when you quit drinking, and you rarely quit drinking, or you quit doing this other drug, you got all these friends and stuff, and you're sure you'll get invited to things, but there's certain things that you don't go to, or who knows, man. You just fall apart from them. You drift in a way. And that's just life in general, probably, as you get older. But I guess I was always single for, most of the 30s of my life. Of just having a great time drinking, boozing it up. Man, great times. I tell you what, good times I had. They were fun. Do you guys like my hat? Had it for a while. Bet you guys would be impressed with it. Anyway, it's about my time. I had a ton of stuff I was going to talk about. But as I started to talk about them, I had to let them go. We'll talk later. We'll learn. We'll grow from it. If you take anything from this, I would say I love you. I love you.